To Wellness Wednesday, I am Deborah.
And I'm Rachel.
And today we have
Rylie.
There you go. And you are?
Head of transport.
Yeah. That's a popular thing here in Texarkana. I know everywhere I go, they love them some Rylie.
Yeah.
Like a local celebrity.
Yes, he is. I'm like, we have to, oh yes, we talked to Rylie. Oh, he's just so precious. I'm like, oh Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's good they love me.
They do love you. They do love you.
So if you've seen those retreat transportation vans running around town, that is part of retreat, but Rylie oversees that, and that's kind of his deal. How long have y'all had transportation up and going?
2 years now.
2 years.
February of 2022 is when we started the idea, and then a few months after that is when we did our first transport, and we've been rocking and rolling ever since.
So how many transport vehicles are you up to now?
Total of 4 that we can utilize.
Okay.
We got 2 big vans that can do our bedbound patients, our bariatric patients. Really, we can accommodate almost anything in those big vans.
Mm-hmm.
So if they are bedbound, how do y'all transport them?
So we have a slide pad that we put underneath the patient, and from there we're able to slide them from the bed or to the chair, and then chair back over to the bed.
And the chair reclines up. Sorry about that.
The chair reclines completely flat. We can match the bed can match us. We make it a very smooth transition. We try to make it as comfortable as we can for the patient and the staff members at the facilities.
So what kind of transports? So when we're saying transport, where are they going? Like, where are we transporting them from, and where are they going?
So it varies. We can go from doctor's appointments, so facilities to doctor's appointments. We relocate residents, patients. We've been to Houston, Fayetteville, Little Rock, Dallas. Wherever we are asked to go, we'll go.
Okay.
Dialysis, it doesn't really matter. We don't really put a stipulation on what we do. Our goal is to make sure that we treat the resident patient as family, and same with the facility. We try to take care of them as well in any way that we can.
So if they're not able to transfer themselves, do you guys help with the transfer, assisting them from, bed to chair, or if they are going to a doctor's appointment, do you guys help get them from their bed to the chair?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do y'all stay with them at their appointment, or do y'all come back and pick them up?
We come back and pick them up, unless it's specified otherwise that we need to stay with them, and then at that point we have no problem doing so.
Just to speak up front.
Yes, ma'am. And then so at the facilities, we try to kind of stand back and not get in the staff's way unless we're asked. Obviously, we will make it known that we're there to help them if needed. Outside of that, if we're in the homes, we will take over and make sure the patient gets moved over to the chair properly, safely. And from there, we just keep moving.
Awesome. So is it a great idea to have a contract with you guys?
Absolutely.
So why would you, just curious, because I've had this question posed to me, why do they need a contract? What is the...
Well, as far as a facility-wise, it's beneficial on the facility because it will lock in their rates, and it will give them an idea for themselves of what a trip may cost without having to ask us what the trip may cost. I'm able to just go back and look at their rate sheet and know exactly where they need to be on that trip. Yeah.
But if maybe they're just a community person, so you guys do move people, like get people from their homes to doctor's appointments, so their families aren't having to take off work and do that. That is a private pay thing, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is there any insurance that you guys can take?
We can't bill for any insurance, no.
Okay.
But we do work with Medicaid, Texas Medicaid, and that process is very simple as far as how people can utilize our services off that, and it doesn't cost them anything at that point. And for patients like that, I'm more than happy to go over how that process works for them and make that as simple as possible. Our goal is not to say, no, we can't transport and then just leave someone high and dry. Our goal is to, if we can't do it the day that they need it, we try to find someone who can.
And just like peace of mind, because like me myself, I don't like taking Ubers or Lyfts, especially if I'm somewhere that I'm not familiar with anyway. But like in my mind, I'm always wondering, well, what if they keep me? Like, what if they don't drop me where I'm supposed to go? Or in y'all's vans, there's live footage, correct? Okay, so like there's cameras in the vans.
Security.
Yes, so if something was to happen or there was questions, then you guys always have a live camera rolling. So
Absolutely.
that's always there. So that's kind of an added security as well.
Yeah, so let me, on top of that, so yes, we do have the camera in the van that does video record 24 hours as that van's running. So any
We can
incident,
never be drivers.
Yeah, that's correct.
so any incident that may arise, we will be able to go back and look and see what happened at that time. Now, as far as doctor's appointments, we don't just take a patient to an address and let them go. We make sure they get checked into their appointment.
Okay, good.
If family's meeting, we make sure that we hand off to family. We never leave a patient by themselves. So we try to make it very easy on everybody and make everyone feel safe and make sure they feel like they're taken care of as if they're our family. Because when you get into our retreat van or any of our retreat services, you're part of the retreat family, and we want everybody to feel that way.
That's awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. So with your drivers, you do background checks on them and
Absolutely.
make sure they're got their driver's license. That's why we care.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I've seen y'all drive.
Just because I go out of here on two wheels does not mean I
Yeah.
can't drive.
It would not be a good idea for me to
Yeah,
go.
you look at a car. It's been wrecked
Yeah,
a few times
it would not
lately.
be a good idea. But let's talk about like the actual patients that are on service with retreat. That's one of the benefits that they have once they're on service with us is we're able to provide them transportation to their appointments here in town. So how does that look? Like our nurses just schedule with you when their appointments are, or do you is that something that somebody needs to, most of the time, they need to let us know ahead of time? Like how soon, if somebody needs a transportation, how soon should they reach out and say, hey, we're going to have this transport? Do they need to give like a week's notice, or is it, if an emergency comes up, are we able to work them in? How does that work?
So with our home health and mainly our home health service in that regard, their nursing team that comes in there in the system, we'd like to have a good 48 hours ahead of time to make arrangements for transports. However, we do know that some last minute appointments do come up, and we do our absolute best to make sure that these patients can get seen. So we do try to move everything around. Now, we can't guarantee every time that we can move everybody around in order to make a last minute happen, but we will do everything in our power to do so.
So what if they need oxygen? Do you guys supply oxygen, or is there availability there if they have their own oxygen? How does that work? Are we capable of doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. So our chairs, our Broda chairs, are equipped with an oxygen tank. And, all we would really need to know is if that patient's on oxygen or not. And that's just a precaution. Now, our van drivers are pretty well trained as far as making sure that their tanks are always full, if not enough to do local runs, or they're always keeping an eye out on their tank just to make sure that if maybe we needed to pick someone up from the hospital, that we have enough to get from point A to point B safely.
And so when you mentioned hospital, we have the inpatient hospice unit, and a lot of times people will need to come there following their hospital stay. Maybe they elected at the end of their stay that it was time for hospice, and there's still things that have to be managed, or maybe they're at end of life, and we know that they come there to pass there. You guys have done those transportations for us. So coming out of the hospital as a retreat patient, we're not having to wait or be uncertain on the time that somebody's going to be discharged out, because we coordinate ahead of time. But your drivers are comfortable moving a critical patient.
Absolutely.
So that's huge to not have to. I don't know if anybody's ever been in the hospital and had to wait on a transportation company to come get them, and those non-emergent transportations a lot of times get pushed to the end of the day, or just when they can work you in. So being able to know, hey, I'm discharging out at this time, that's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a big deal. So
Especially for the family and the comfort that, I'm not going to have to wait 3 hours for
Right.
an ambulance to become available, because they do have emergencies, and that's not considered an emergency to be moved. So, yeah, that is very good.
So what if a family member wanted to ride with you guys? Is there room for somebody to ride? I don't think I've ever asked that question.
I have never asked that question. That's a good question.
Yeah, family's absolutely able to ride with us. We wouldn't see it any other way in some situations. I know that if I were to be in a position
Critical.
that I would want my mom or my dad to be riding with me, or just family member in general, just to be there with me. And so we want to make sure, like I said in the beginning of the video or the podcast, I do want everybody to understand that this is a family business, and this is how we see these patients as family. We don't see them as just patients.
No, and I think that's why I love this company, is because it is a family ran and minded Christian company. So
Absolutely.
that's huge these days. But we're gonna go to Valentine's. We didn't even talk about that day.
You're just putting it all together over there.
Yeah, I'm making an arrangement, guys. I'm gonna tell you, every man, young, old, has been at Albertsons today, and
I'd say
the
I'm
prices of flowers went up. I know at least 10-15%, because arrangement normally $12.99, $15, $24.99, and the roses for 6 of them was like over $20. I'm like, in a bag. I'm like, wow, Albertsons, you. But anyway, I understand it's Valentine's, but you couldn't get a parking place at Albertsons. There were so many men.
Sam's was it was very slim picking too. I picked some flowers up at Sam's, and their bouquets are normally really pretty
And cheap.
And I did get a very nice one for like $15.99, but there was like one left.
Oh.
And then I think
Oh, no,
they had
Albertsons
those at the
extra.
front of the store, and then like their normal little thing was.
Oh, they had them
completely
everywhere.
out.
As soon as somebody got one out of the thing, woman was there to pack another one in. I'm like, dang, they're not playing today. But, so, Valentine's, it's February 14th. We're just barely into 2024. It feels like we've been in it a while.
It does.
Did you make a New Year's resolution? We didn't ask you that question. We always ask somebody that question.
No,
We're not
I
good at
didn't.
keeping them.
I'm not making New Year's
You
resolutions.
young people just don't do that anymore. Shelby didn't either when she was on here.
I also know that at one point my New Year's resolution was to lose weight, and I think it took me the next year to finally do that.
To get to that point.
I think I'm not going to make a New Year's resolution. Whatever happens, it's going to happen. And
That's probably smart. Yeah, because I don't think I've kept mine.
I feel like you stress yourself too much when you do
gosh,
resolutions like that.
yes. And then today's Ash Wednesday, the beginning of Lent. You're going to sacrifice. I don't know if y'all, give up something during Lent, because I don't even know what your religions are, but, Catholic, you give up something. It's 40 days. I've already failed. I didn't eat meat today, though. It's Wednesday. It's Ash Wednesday. No meat. No meat on Fridays except for fish until Easter.
So
Good thing I'm not a big.
on Ash Wednesday either.
No, Ash Wednesday, because it's the beginning of Lent. You don't eat meat. You can eat fish. And then every Friday up till Easter, you do not eat meat.
Oh yeah, I do know all that.
Going to lunch with me is so much fun. I'm just kidding. I'm not a big meat eater anyway.
So is that all you eat is leaves?
Yeah, a lot of foliage. Just get what you need, and maybe I'll lose some weight. Hey, that's how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So are eggs considered meat?
Eggs?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but they're protein.
Yeah.
But they
I'm
do
not
not
a big
consider
egg
that.
person, but
I like eggs. I like a lot of cheese. I like junk food, so I'm good with
Yeah.
it. So I don't really have to have meat. I should, but I don't. So, but so
get away
do you
with
give
a
up
lot
for
of
Lent,
pizza.
or do you just roll?
Well, I'm Baptist, and most of the time it's fasting, which we fast for all kinds of things. But I have tried in the past, just like to build my relationship, and
That's what it's about.
it normally didn't.
It's
end up
hard.
well.
It's harder than to remember it is the other part
Well,
of it.
and it really beat me down too, because you're sacrificing one thing. It kind of makes you seem like you're a little ungrateful if you can't.
But it's hard to do that one
that's
thing.
hard.
Imagine,
That is hard.
the sacrifices he made for us, and we can't even do one little thing and keep it for 40 days.
I'm trying to think. I gave up social media one year, and I did make it through that. There was no social media. But now it's almost impossible because everything is on social media.
I was going to say, and part of your job is social media.
You know,
How did you feel though? How did you feel when you were off social media?
Cleansed?
Well, yeah.
Disconnected?
And the whole thought process behind it was, you pay more attention to that than where you are in your, spiritual relationship. So, that one I did okay. I did. But now, like I said, everything is on social media. The news is on social media. Your school system's on social media. We do a lot on it. So that's always one of those things that like weighs heavy on me, is how much time people spend on their phones. And I'm very guilty of that. I do that a lot. I notice at home sometimes everybody at my house will be on their phone. Like the TV's going, everybody's spread out, different rooms.
This is it.
Know, in the kitchen and dining room, and then I have 2 living spaces. So front living room, there's one kid on the phone, and that's a lot of phone time when that's time you could be spending with your people. I'm sure my people are probably glad my head is in the phone sometimes, and
Mom's not asking us
not
anything.
complaining or seeing what's going on. But you miss a lot of life when your face is in the phone.
Well, I know when Shelby was a teenager, and she's well past teenager, we had game nights. The phones went bye-bye, you were game night.
And we do game nights pretty regular at my house. Sunday afternoon dinners. Now that my oldest has moved out, they come home every Sunday for dinner. Yeah. So I at least get to see them once a week. I did text them last night, like, if you don't have Valentine's Day plans, because, who doesn't want to go back to their mama's house?
For Valentine's with their sweet
married Valentines living, in their own house with their mama.
I'm going to text Shelby and see if she wants to come home for Valentine's.
I did text last night.
I'll get deleted.
If you don't have plans, come on by. But I got your Valentine, so I know I'll catch you with that. Come on by and get your Valentine. But, yeah. So I think one time I tried to give up Cokes, too. And that,
you don't want me giving up caffeine.
Yeah, carbonated beverages, it didn't go well for that.
It's a hard, it's 40 days, but
yeah,
it's a hard to remember, focus, because we're always at fast pace, and the days get away from us. I'm like, oh, it's Friday already. Okay. One day I was driving to work and I was eating, I'm not gonna lie, sausage biscuit, and I was like, oh, this is so good. I go, it's Friday. Do it in the back seat. I'm like,
so how do y'all think that y'all could get through the 40 day? Like with
to give up something and to
how do you think you could push through that?
Slow down, focus, focus, slow down, because our pace is going 90 miles an hour. So you kind of forget about everything else, and if I didn't have a calendar where I'm supposed to be, I wouldn't be there. So if I don't show up, it wasn't on my calendar. So that's just how I roll.
And I used to be really good with calendars too, but here's what I have found just in the past few months. I will write things on one calendar, and then I'll have a calendar in my car that I write things on. And I used to put it all in my phone, but I have all that. It's been a hot mess. It has been a hot mess. It really either has been 90 miles an hour or kind of slow the last few weeks.
Or wrecking your car, having to deal with that, or getting hit in a parking lot with your car.
My New Year's has not started out great. And I don't know if anybody else saw like the cute little TikToks where they were talking about the Super Bowl and how in 2000, that was the last time the 49ers and Kansas went to the Super Bowl. And the same 2 presidents were running against each other. I saw that. Yeah. And then COVID hit.
And then look what happened next.
So they were like, whatever portal we opened back in 2000, let's close that sucker. After this. So I'm kind of hoping that. My car got hit Friday afternoon at the Neighborhood Walmart in Wake Village.
She wasn't even in it.
I was not. I was in the store getting my Friday afternoon, like I was picking up medicine, and like my husband was working late, so
living her best life.
Like we're gonna have Hot Pockets tonight, get everybody settled, and wrap the week up. And here I go, bebopping down the aisle, and I see my car, and I just stop, and I'm like, that's not my car. I'm on the wrong aisle, and I'm still just standing there, and I'm like, no, that's your car. And about that time, the little Walmart guy comes out that does online like drop-offs where you pull up, and he's like, is this your car, man? We've been trying to get a hold of you. We've been paging you in the store. So, man, he just backed up and he hit your car. I'm like, great.
And kept going.
Yeah, and every bit of it was on camera, but just the angle that he turned to go out, the whole license plate is blurred. So
maybe he was deaf and he didn't realize he hit something. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt until he's caught.
I would hope that was the case.
Not blind, but deaf.
Yeah. But I won't lie if I say every Toyota Tundra
You're
that
like-
has matched that description that I've been
Checking
behind.
it
I
out.
look to see if they have had a dented.
Guy, I hope she doesn't
Yeah.
find you, is all I'm
Yeah.
gonna say.
I mean, oh,
I hope it's the police and
way.
not Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Because she might be a little upset about it.
And you know, normally I'm not so cool-headed about things, but I was so in shock. I just stood there. Like I told my husband, normally there's plenty of thoughts that come to mind, but I was so shocked. I just stood there. I was like,
It could be that you just started driving the car again, because
Yeah.
what was it?
just a few
November,
months ago?
October?
Yeah, November.
Her tire bust and
Yeah.
took out her whole back end. So.
So anyway,
Bless it.
and then I have decided that I'm cashing in a refund on turning 40.
I told you, get that next level is gonna, and
I
every
wanna
time you level
refund
up, it
this.
gets a little bit worse.
I'm not staying here.
I'm getting close to the other level now. I'm like,
not
oh
doing it.
Lord.
I had to text everybody Tuesday and let them know that I was going to be running late from work because I could not move.
She was moving like I do in the morning. It's kind of slow.
Yeah, so
She was stoved up.
it was bad. So
I told her
dealing with
40.
some
Wait till you get to 50.
sciatic things now, and that is no
It's
joke.
Your body
I
says, "Let me teach you a lesson. Let me
I
show
have
you how
heard
this
people
works."
talk about the old sciatic for a long time, but now
It can
I
be your best friend or your worst
It's
enemy.
terrible. It's awful.
You're too
I
young to
can
know.
I'm
100%
not.
fully. So
I weighed 270 pounds at one point.
You?
I sure did. I got pictures. I have evidence.
He's got the proof to prove it.
And
Yeah.
it would attack my sciatic because of how heavy I was.
Yeah, your body was saying hello.
I'd been down to pick up a remote,
You're like,
and
Could
took
you breathe?
It took everything to get me back up because that sciatic got pinched up, and it's a terrible feeling.
Oh,
well, mine
I've been able
at
to take
this
clothes
point,
out of the dryer
yeah.
once, and I'm like,
Well,
oh man.
I had a very hard time getting pants on yesterday, and now I actually it's inflamed enough that I have a lump. I have a ginormous bump from how bad it
She's
is
really
inflamed.
made hers mad.
So there was a whole panic last night of, now I have this ginormous nodule-like thing in my
And
lower
Eric
back.
started Googling.
My husband
Right.
is on Google, and it's very painful. I will say that. I have never in my life. For 2 nights, I have tried to figure out how to sleep and get some sort of relief because you lay on your back and it throbs. You lay on your stomach, it throbs. I'm a side sleeper, but apparently
Ooh.
side sleeping is not all that great either. If you pull your knees up,
Oh Lord.
that apparently makes it worse, and I'm a T-Rex sleeper.
You learn a lot when you're on the show.
Yeah,
guys.
I'm a
We
T-Rex
just talk about
sleeper,
it all.
so that's like my official position is on my side.
I had the visual of that
Yeah,
dinosaur you took home.
yeah. So what they call it, the T-Rex hands, So yeah, that's how I sleep at night with the covers like all up in there
Lord.
and like a death grip. So apparently that is not good for your sciatic
No,
nerve. So I
I
haven't
think
helped
not.
that. But there was no like event that led up to it. I didn't like fall
You turned
or
40.
bend over. That's it. That's why I'm
You
cashing
turned
in.
40.
We want a refund on this. I'm not staying here. It's not.
You know, the alternative to it, you wouldn't like either, so you might as well just roll with it.
like that.
You're not going to try these chocolate covered strawberries? They're pretty darn good.
They look really good.
They do look.
They were
really
made at Albertsons. I'm sure they took every bit of the calories out of it.
I think Valentine's Day calories.
And then we
don't
have these
count.
cuties, is that what they're called? Yeah, hearts.
I'm gonna try one of these
You
strawberries.
got to. You got to.
I'm still in.
Please tell me you're not going to not try it.
I mean, I really want to try it, but I also
Are you
know that
vegan?
I have a figure that I have to keep.
Oh, Lord.
It doesn't.
And
cover
that's something else in
Valentine's.
age. You just go, oh, Lord.
Yeah, at some
Yeah,
point,
okay.
but right now, I'm trying to keep it. I've got a little bit of a dad bod, and I'm okay with keeping that because I am a dad. But
Well, that's nothing wrong with
You're
that.
about to be dad times 2, correct?
times 2, yeah. I got
Bless
one on
it.
the way.
Have a summer baby coming.
Mhm.
Summer.
When?
Yeah, June the 8th. Got a
That's-
little girl on the way.
That's a
Oh,
hot,
that is
hot,
really
hot
good.
one. Shelby was born June 20th. And I just remember going, oh, Lord, this will never end.
Mm-hmm.
And she decided to stay in 2 weeks late. So
Mhm.
we kept giving her eviction notices and she would not come out.
Mm.
So
I went a whole summer. I have a September baby, and that was
miserable.
the longest summer of my life.
Let me just tell you how bad it was for me. We had a ski boat at that time. And I said, we're going skiing. He goes, you're not skiing. I go, I'm going to try. He goes, no. So I hit every wave I could possibly. I'm like, this baby's coming out. It's coming out.
Mm-mm.
She didn't come out.
So a little water bird.
I was trying anything at that
Could've
point.
been.
I mean, I literally went to the doctor's office and said, you got to do something.
Mm-mm.
You gave me this date, and you should have gave me that date if it's going to go further than that date.
Now it's eviction time.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she just said, no, I'm not coming out. I'm like, oh, yes, you are.
So do you have big Valentine's Day plans?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
No, and y'all can't ask me on the podcast. Everybody's gonna
Well,
think
we
I'm
did
bad.
our Valentine's. I'm terrible at if a lot of times I have to wait till the last minute to go get something because I want to just go ahead and give it to you, because if not, I'm gonna either end up telling you about it or I get worked up. I get worked up over it. So I've had my husband's in the closet hidden for 2 days, and every day I'm like, can I just give it to you? Can I give it to you? No. So we did ours last night. My husband did really good. He
that's
good.
good. Sooner
Yeah,
almost
so-
gave Gerard's away last night because he drug it out of the closet. And I'm like,
no.
you dog.
No.
I'm like, and Gerard goes, what's wrong? I said, nothing, just stay out here. Just go away. I'm like,
Mhm.
get up. Shut my closet. If you leave anything open, he's going to open it. He's
Yeah.
bringing something out.
Mhm.
He's emptied my dresser on the bottom 2 drawers. If you leave them open, he opens them and dumps everything.
Well, like y'all said, 2024 has been crazy.
Woo!
You
No,
know,
this is
and
normal.
there's not been much of a break or a breather, an opportunity
No.
for that. And so this day snuck up on me, and I'm going to be just like every other man in Texarkana.
You gonna be at
around the
Albertson
world. I'll be at Albertsons or somewhere collecting what's left, collecting stems.
You know, that's probably the best thing because you don't have to go through it all and figure it out.
Mhm.
It's what's there.
You know,
Well-
I think I have a rose bush at my house. I may just snip some of off that thing.
And that's from the heart.
That sure
Mhm.
is.
I didn't
But
plan
are
it,
the
but-
roses on it
Yeah, there's
this
rose.
time of year?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if they're alive or dead, but it's a thought that counts, right?
Well, not if they're dead.
Well,
Well, okay,
Bad.
so I did think about this when I was at Sam's and I saw all these people like looking for flowers.
Mhm.
Sam's actually has like the rose bushes that you plant.
Mhm.
So I mean, you could totally sell that as our love grows and
Mhm.
eternal. Yeah, I'm not mushy like
Yeah,
that.
you
So
write this down.
well, she stole that from me. That's what I
That's
said
what you were
earlier.
saying earlier.
Like
Okay,
I'm not good at things like that.
Well, just
So you
don't
got
be
it.
like my father. One Valentine's Day, we were all getting together to go out to dinner, and he brings in my mother a dozen red roses, and she's just ecstatic because we're all going to go out to eat. And then out of my father's mouth comes, "Well, so and so didn't need them anymore. It was from
Oh,
a
no.
funeral."
Now,
And I'm like, "Oh my God, Daddy, you have lost you." He paid for
Now,
that for at least a month. She
I
got whatever she
think-
wanted.
it was
Okay.
probably our second or third year after Eric and I got married. He gave me a card
Mhm.
and didn't sign it.
Oh, it was a reusable one. He
Mhm.
was thinking.
And I'm not a card person.
No.
Like I'll go get your gift. There's not gonna be a card. Like there's not. Because I just forget about it. But also, like every card I've ever gotten from the kids, it's in a drawer. So you know when
They
I'm
all meant
gone,
something.
they're gonna find it. You know. But I'm just not a card person. He's always a card person. But by golly, don't give me a card that you haven't signed.
Well, yeah, that's a little bit. Well, he was thinking that you'd forget about it and he'd just use it the next year.
Yeah,
I mean,
you stick it
that's
all in
smart.
there.
I
But
mean, you stick it
yeah.
inside the box. I like homemade cards. That's me.
oh,
Shelby
yeah.
used to make me all kinds of homemade cards, and I still have a drawer full of them.
And I'm a note person. I'll leave notes. Not always nice ones, but most
She's
of the
a note
time
person.
nice. But I am a note person. I'll leave you a nice little note stuck somewhere. But we used to go eat like the day before or the day after.
Don't go on
Don't try to
Valentine's.
go on
Don't go on
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's, especially with a big group of people. It'd take you all night.
No, it was already
Yeah.
busy at lunch when we went to lunch
Oh my
today.
gosh, the restaurant was full, and all these people walking in with flowers.
Mhm.
I'm like, it's okay. Bless it.
Yeah. They have
But
to
getting
do the
back
day
to
dates.
retreat,
Mhm.
you know, our unit is open.
It has
It's
been
always busy,
hopping.
very
It has
busy.
been hopping the last 2 weeks. I think maybe a room over there now, one open room, out of 10 beds, I think. So there was somebody going home today.
Yep, I saw that.
Somebody new coming in today.
So, Rylie, going back to transportation as well. So, how many different places do you go? I mean, I know you go to both hospitals, you go to the rehabs. Is there other businesses in town that take advantage of your services? And
Nursing homes.
Okay.
Nursing homes are a big factor. Getting those patients moved to and from. You know what we offer to the nursing homes is we're not trying to take over their transport. We're not trying to get rid of their driver. But we do know with vehicles that things do happen.
well, even scheduling, because I
absolutely,
mean, you can have a bunch of
overscheduling.
dialysis, and then you got doctor's appointments still in the nursing home. So I know it was well utilized when I was at Christian Care Center
Yeah.
because there was never a day that we probably didn't use your service because we had a lot of dialysis in that building.
Well, and it makes it easier on the staff and
Yeah.
the facilities because we're not having to reschedule and then remember, did we get this on the list? You know, you can just call us and
It's done.
we try to have availability for you that day. I try to always have a van local because I do know that, you know, our vans, we service quite a bit. You know,
You do.
we go out to Tyler, you know, Mineola, Quitman, Mount Vernon, Mount Pleasant. I mean, we have
Wow.
a big radius that we cover and try to take care of a lot of people. And offer the services of transport that we offer in Texarkana, but we try to offer it everywhere else that they don't have that service.
You may have to open another location just to be able to cover a little further. I mean, it's always that broad and that.
We always want to expand. We always want to give everybody the treatment that the people that have been in our vans have gotten.
So do y'all only operate during certain hours, or is there an on-call system? If, you know, something happened after, you know, 7, 8 o'clock on a Friday night, would they be able to utilize retreat transportation?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're a 24/7, 365-day service.
Whew.
So how do they get in touch with you?
So if it's an after hours, then they'll just call the office number. And I think it's option 3 or 4. One of those
3.
options.
Home health hospice.
And we're almost there on the phone numbers, getting them on the screen.
We're gonna
Like,
have it on the screen one day.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
And it's a
So-
simple process. You just call me and give me the information, and you know I'll ask you all the questions. We'll make it an easy process. It's nothing. You know, some people that call get intimidated by it just because I'm new to it. We haven't done this before. It's a very simple process for everybody.
I think the one time I did it, I kind of messed it up. So today, I just went and said, hey, you need to call this lady. She needs transportation. Because I didn't know all the details. So there's a lot that goes into it. But
Well,
Rylie
I'm
can take care of
normally
you.
impatient, so I know Rylie loves when he sees my number come across, because I'm like, hey, I got this, I need this, and I needed it like an hour ago. So I'm
She's the
always
demanding one.
Yeah.
But I think our team does a pretty good job of taking
You
care of
do.
everything.
You really
Because,
do.
You know, with
You're juggling a lot.
everything that happens at one time, and then the last minute ones come up, I think we do a pretty good job of taking care of those.
You do a fabulous job.
I think so too. It
You've
is
got
a
a good
huge
team.
blessing to be
I mean,
able to
Pick up a phone.
coordinate care with
Mhm.
somebody and say, okay, we'll be here at this time, and
Because you're not only dealing with, you know, vans and things like you're dealing with people that you may have people sick, so you may be shorthanded that day. I know you step in, and I know Ricky steps in, so nobody gets left out of being transported where they need to go. I don't think you decline anybody.
No, I had
Unless we
somebody
just
get in the
can't
car
get
with
to
me
it on
one
that certain
time.
day. I mean, it just
Do what?
I did have somebody get in the car with me one time to
She
come
did.
to the unit, and
Well, I may have done that one time too.
yeah, it was an experience. But I mean, I told Rylie to get me a T-shirt. I was a transport employee that day.
Right,
Like,
we
just
could do
sign me
that.
up.
We could do that.
yeah. But
Okay.
I'd be
Yeah.
afraid to put a camera in her car. I wouldn't want to see.
Oh wait, you're
what-
gonna put a camera? No,
I
I
wouldn't want
decline.
to see what stoplights
Listen,
we've
no,
done. and all that
nobody
kind of stuff.
nobody
If you'd
wants to
saw
be
me
witness
today,
to these.
I'm trying to do one thing. I may have been on the phone, may have been talking, and
Yeah.
trying to get something out of the seat over there, and somebody stopped in front of me, and I kind of went, you know, and everything went.
Well,
It
and
may
I'm
happen
so
more often.
random in the car, and I think, am I the only person that has a theme song that like runs in your head for different parts of the day? Like, I can be caught up in a moment, and a song will come to mind, and I'm just like, this is the theme song. Like, maybe that's how I cope with things. You know? But
No.
yes, and then so there's no, like, you would not want a camera in my car. Like, the conversations that I have with myself, but not only that, the ones on the phone, and then the random outburst of song that's playing through my head, because I never have the radio on, other than like when I'm coming to work. I listen to podcasts, so you know, then like that's, but by the time the day's over, it's like silence.
Staring at the wall, out the windshield.
And
We're the friend you do not put on speaker when you call
100%.
them.
I think everybody. at
Jackie has
retreat
learned
does.
that with me. She'll go, hold on. I'm like, what?
Oh no, I think everybody has figured that out with me. Ricky most definitely got that
Yeah.
one time. Yeah, we're not.
My husband's a
I'm
slow
not a
learner
speaker
over the
person.
years. He finally hears, oh, I do not put you on speakerphone anymore.
Well, and most of the time, Eric doesn't even conversate with me about doing something or making plans out. You know, if we're right with somebody, and I'm not hard to deal with, but he will skirt around because he doesn't want to hear my response or doesn't want somebody else to hear my
your
response.
response.
Yeah, and I don't care. You know what?
I just go, you were warned. Should have done it.
Yeah, that's never a good
Should have
idea.
done it. I don't know if that's gonna go, but we're
So-
gonna stick it in there anyway.
we are smack dab
Mm.
past the middle of February now, because there's is this a leap year?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
It is.
So there'll be 27 days in February. So we're halfway through February already. It is officially
Lent.
Lent. It's Heart Month.
No, you actually get an extra day because it's leap year. You
So
get
it's
29,
29.
not yeah.
Okay.
That's why when you said
thinking, for some
27.
reason, I
That's
was
what
thinking
they
there's
added.
26.
They added
29.
days. Yeah.
So we are halfway through the month, and then we'll be rolling into March. Lots of things happen in March too.
Whew, every day there's something. Every day.
This Friday we will be in a chili cook-off.
The VA, community
Mhm.
VA is doing a chili cook-off at Truman Arnold Center. So go out. I think the tickets are $8
Mm-hmm.
to taste all the chilies in town. And just remember, vote for Retreat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not cooking. Rachel will be cooking, so it's safe to eat.
Yeah.
Good turnout. We are part of the We Honor Veterans, so that is great. And we hope to see everybody there Friday. It is from 11 until, I'm not sure the time, but 11
Yeah, and it's
For
at
sure.
college, Texas County
at
College.
Truman Arnold Center. Yeah, at the college.
Which is Truman Arnold Center. That's like where the bookstore and the cafeteria and
You
stuff
just go
are.
upstairs. Yeah. It'll be in
And-
that big open area, I think.
Mhm. And we recently just started and became a part of the We Honor Veterans
Yeah.
program. We have always done veteran things, but the next year we're going to be getting ready to do more things with the veterans and get
Absolutely.
involved. And we currently do a presentation for the people that we have on service. We have done some little flags that, they appreciate. A lot of times you don't realize, how long people go without being thanked.
Yeah, having
When
that
I've
word.
gone out and met with some of our veterans and presented them. We've done a pinning. We have done that outside the VA not long ago, but it's a great program to be a part of, and we're honored that we get to work with
Participate in that.
veterans.
Yeah.
It's been more with home health, but now we're moving into the hospice side of it. So
The other thing is we're looking for nurses on our unit, our inpatient unit. Come over to 210 North Kenwood,
mhm,
fill out an application, RNs, LVNs.
mhm. You can apply here too at the office.
Mhm.
I have also on our Facebook page, there is a flyer up that has an email address where you can email a resume directly.
Correct, yeah.
It's kind of it's like a little hidden gem over there. You don't really know much about it until you have to.
Until you
but-
have to, get in.
From a nursing standpoint, that's a really good nursing gig. If you have a heart for hospice, or it's something that hospice is something that you've been interested in, your patient to nurse ratio is very low. So
It's a
we
10-bed
try-
unit. You have 2 RNs, or an
So it's
RN
5 to 1,
LVN.
and then you have aides that are working with you. So
Mhm.
on any given day of the week, max amount that you're going to have with fully staffed there is 5 patients. So
That's not, I mean,
it's
you
not a
can't
bad
get
gig
that.
at
I mean,
all.
you may get it as a floor nurse,
Mhm.
but it's also a lot less, it's not as fast paced as I would say on a
Yeah.
hospital floor.
And there's busy days. Last week we
Admissions
had,
can be busy.
I think 2-3 admissions in one day. It's a 12-hour shift, so we do, when we're bringing people in or getting them out, it's not always possible, but most of the time we try to schedule them before lunch or right after lunch. So when you have people coming in, they've still got a lot of time to sit down and sit with their patient and learn them and get all their admission stuff done. But
The thing we try to do is we try to make sure we get the families there before the
Mhm.
the patient gets there, so we can get legals signed, because
Mhm.
you do have that to go over. If there's a DNR to be put in place, we make sure that gets
Mhm.
taken care of, so there's not as much of that going on when the patient actually
Mhm.
arrives to the unit.
yeah,
So-
so the unit has been open a little over a year now, and it's growing quickly.
It is.
With the admissions and community people that have come in. So there's needs there now, and we need to get them filled. But it's a good opportunity for somebody, especially if you've always thought hospice may be something, but you didn't want to be out on the road seeing patients. Maybe you're like me and driving is not. Maybe you want to be stationary. I know a lot of people after you have come out of a building setting, it's hard to get back into.
It is
being in
very
one
hard to
location.
get into a building, and stay.
I worked one day over at the unit after we got it up and going, and it hadn't been open very long, and I had a really good day. It was a good day. You know, being able sometimes to sit down and spend time with people a little longer and be at bedside versus, you know, seeing patients out in the field. We're kind of sometimes pushed for time on how long we can be in the home and when we got to get out. And this is, and you get good amount of days off. That's another thing that it's every other weekend, so you know you do the 4 on 3 off schedule rotation.
But if you're coming from a hospital setting as a nurse, you have all the bells and whistles going off all the time. This is like walking into a home setting. It's very quiet, tranquil. You have a nurse's station as you walk in, and then you're going into a long hall that has 5 on each side, and it's like a little apartments, and it's so quiet. You almost forget it's a hospice unit, and there are critical people there because it is so quiet. And, you know, it's soothing, actually. And I don't know why I say that, but it is. You walk in and you just feel peaceful.
And one of the things about when I came to work for hospice, you know, I had my own home church. Carlos, who's with us now, when I went to work for hospice, he came to work for hospice the same day I did. So he and I hired on at the same time. And that was a huge deal. Once you go to work for hospice and you have a chaplain who, when we've had Augustine on before, you know, they're ministering to patients, but they are 100% with the staff too. So it's very different. Those chaplains are in and out of that unit all day long. So it is for it sometimes to be a sad situation because people are at end of life or, you know, they're critically sick. It's still an environment, you know, where you said it's peaceful. It's still an environment where you have somebody who's there uplifting people and praying for people and, you know, who can be a calm, you know, when people are panicking. So it really is a good environment. The environment is good. You're not going to get that in a lot of places.
It's just not a clinical type setting. You know, you go in the hospital, you don't feel comfortable, you don't rest, you just I've always been on edge when I'm in there because you just like, ugh, everything's beeping, this is going off. But you know, in a hospice, in the unit, the rooms are just very quiet
and very comfortable.
And very comfortable.
For family members, I mean, I've seen the chairs that are in there, the couches that are in there, very, very comfortable.
I know it when I first brought somebody over there. Go, oh wow, this is nice. And I'm like, it's just a great setting. You have, you know, some of them have a complete separate living room area with chairs and TV, and then you go around and there's a little room, or then there's some that have it all together, but it's all comfortable. And we encourage families to stay, or if they need to go, then they're going to be taken care of, and just come back and check on them when you can. The other thing is respite, not just with hospice respite. You can do private respite. Going out of town, need a break. Call and get pricing on private respite.
Those both, we have a night shift position open over there and day shift for a nurse. Really good benefits with retreat.
401k. After you've been here
90 days, I think it.
That
You
with
start
401k
paying
is a little
in from
bit
day
different.
one.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think it.
Up to 5 years, it gets 100%. It's a percentage each year.
Yeah.
So
But then,
not a lot of companies do that.
Insurance, dental, vision. Let's see. You get your birthday off.
Yeah.
You get birthday pay off. Yeah, you take your birthday off.
I'll be doing that soon.
PTO. So, and then sick time. You know, I think you start out with a week of sick leave outside of what you are getting for your vacation or PTO. So it's lots of good benefits, good environment. Like I said, from a nursing standpoint, if I was still doing bedside nursing 100%, that would be a good opportunity for somebody. It's not something you want to miss out on for sure. But
well, this was Wellness Wednesday, and we're gonna let Rylie go so he can get ready for his Valentine's tonight and get all set up so we can go clip those roses off that bush that might be dead, but you know, hopefully they're not.
So I had an epiphany when you said that. You could have like a whole Lady in the Tramp moment. Just go make a big old thing of spaghetti and get you some candles, and you know.
Don't listen to her.
It's Valentine's Day.
He has what? Yeah. How old is your son?
4.
Yeah, he'd be in the middle of that plate of spaghetti having him a good old time.
Yeah.
That probably would not work out.
Well,
We'll get
and then
him
on
some
top of
slime,
that-
stop on your way home, grab him some
Oh
slime.
Lord,
or
there'd be slime in the
Play-Doh,
spaghetti.
and he'll be content, and then, have you a whole little.
She lives in this fairy tale land.
It's
She-
a great.
we're trying to pull her
Listen,
back
it's always great ideas. Last
until
night
we
I
put them
tried to.
together.
Well, I text at 9:30 last night and
Yes, she
said,
does.
"Okay, plan for tomorrow. Ricky's dressing as Cupid and we're handing out roses."
She's dead. I go, oh, quit drinking. Stop drinking now.
Yeah,
if you
so-
are, stop.
Ah, man, I got some
No.
great
Well, I
ideas.
think that is a great idea. However,
Yeah.
with her being pregnant, and
Yeah.
I don't think that I've ever heard her say, "Oh, I'm just craving spaghetti."
Spaghetti.
And so I feel like if I go home and make it, then it may be like,
What are you doing this for?
Yeah.
Rachel said it was a great idea. That's all you gotta say.
yeah, and then
Blame
she-
Rachel.
Yeah. you
Then
know.
she's gonna hunt you down. You ready?
So spaghetti is a topic at my house too. I didn't have we had spaghetti in rotation for dinners. I think growing up, but it was never oh, I love spaghetti. My sister loved spaghetti.
love
It was
spaghetti.
nothing that
We didn't get it
stuck
growing
out
up.
to me.
My dad hated it.
But I have a great appreciation for it now that I go home and cook.
Because it's
It
easy.
is easy.
I can do
and,
that.
Yeah. So I like spaghetti. I do, and you can't mess that up. That's why I said that too. How do you mess up noodles? And you can't mess that up.
You don't get the noodles all the way cooked. It kind of is a mess.
That's
Oh yeah,
Kind of crunchy.
yeah, that's true.
But, well,
Hmm.
here's another Wellness Wednesday. We're going to close out and
Yep.
let you
So-
go get your Valentine ready.
Yeah.
Got some strawberries left.
Well, thank y'all for having me on.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Here you go. You can
You
take
don't
that
have
with
to show
you.
up
All right.
empty-handed.
You don't have to show up empty-handed
There we
anymore.
go.
That'll work for you.
Yeah. it's beautiful.
Anyways,
Well, thank y'all and have a good one.
bye.